everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is September 16th, 2021, and Bitcoin is looking okay. Why am I saying that? Let's go to the charts. We're on the 8-hour chart right now, and we see that we've successfully completed a Wyckoff accumulation pattern, complete with 3 tests to the downward boundary or the lower boundary of the trading range. And if the last test was the lowest, it broke or breached the lower boundary. And from there, we had a spring. And from that, we had a retest of the upper boundary, which you see here. That's that candle with the long wick down. And now, basically, we're going to form a sign of strength, which is basically we're going to form a flag pattern, consolidating a bit after this massive run-up out of this trading range. So that's normal. Also, we need it because there's some staunch resistance here at 48.3. So let's get a little more particular. Let's go into the hourly time frame. As you can see, we broke out of the trading range. We back tested it with an ABC correction. And then we shot up with a strong green candle, but then met some more resistance that's outside of the trading range at around 48.5. And now we're doing another ABC kind of correction because we just got rejected. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to try that again. We're going to meet some more rejection, and we're going to do this and consolidate until we break this kind of triangle, which is why I drew this line out. And I've got an alarm on it signifying when Bitcoin's going to start to run. And what we should see, if everything kind of plays out as the theory dictates, we should start to see some volume, because when we're in this trading range, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll know trading ranges are characterized by low volume and very kind of slow, not very forceful price action. So this is what we've seen, and this is what we're seeing. But once we leave the trading range, we should see some volume. So right down here, the volume profile should show you some more verve, and the price action should be a little more violent. Okay, so now we're just having I believe we completed our ABC correction. I believe just bouncing off the 55 EMA on the hourly time frame. We're going to try that upper boundary again, meet some more resistance, and then, like I said, consolidate until we break out. I've got an alarm on this. If you don't know how to set alarms on your trend lines, it's very simple. You simply click the trend line and you should see a menu, and then there's an alarm. You press it, and then you can set your alarm. If you don't have that option, maybe it's because your trading view is a basic package or whatever. I do have an affiliate link for a membership to TradingView. If you do trade or invest and you use TradingView a lot, it's worth it. Definitely pays for itself. So yeah, get that in the description below. Anyway, so that's Bitcoin. And also, the alarm is not just for Bitcoin because, as most of you know, I don't typically trade Bitcoin, but in order to trade anything to the upside or to the downside, you first have to confirm what Bitcoin's doing. So if I wanted to long something, for instance, I would have to know when Bitcoin was going long and when Bitcoin wasn't consolidating. It doesn't make any sense to do a long on something when Bitcoin is still consolidating, because you're just not going to get much of anything. And now let's go to no, s'il te plaît. Sorry, that was my son. He's home from school today. Let's go into XRP because that was the trade yesterday. So XRP, we had a setup. Whoops, sorry. We had a setup and we basically got in around 109. That was the entry, and did get some upwards action on our long. but then subsequently got stopped out, and I basically trailed my stops, meaning I moved my stop up gradually as price action moved. And so when we went down, I was stopped out, meaning I left the trade with, a little bit of profit, not much, but just a little bit. So it wasn't a losing trade or anything. But that's just to show you, one, how to do a trade and mitigate risk. And even if it goes back on you or turns around on you, you can still not lose your capital. Trailing stop losses, that's one thing that it is good to do. Obviously, it takes some time, it takes some attention. You can't just set it and forget it. You have to kind of monitor it from here. You have to monitor it as the trade progresses. But that, the reason XRP didn't run is because Bitcoin. That's the reason most coins didn't run. Some did, but most tokens didn't. So the next trade I'm looking at, once Bitcoin complies, is either Shiba Inu, and let's zoom out. Why am I looking at this trade? This is a very, typically, it's not been doing well. It has been underperforming, and just looking at the daily chart, you can see what I'm talking about. It's ever since the 19th of May been consolidating. Okay, a lot of other charts have done a lot more, and this has basically been doing nothing since the 19th of May. When it does break out of this consolidation, it's going to really run. Okay, and so that's one of the reasons I'm looking at this, because one, it's almost at the apex of this triangle, and breakouts typically happen before the end of the triangle, so it's an imminent breakout. And secondly, it was showing a lot of strength. You see here on the daily time frame, you have some, well, no divergence, but it's just a lot of bullishness as of late, where you hadn't really had that before. Let's go in more to the smaller time frames, and you can see what I'm talking about. And again, I'm looking for how do I make my entries? Breakout, retest, breakout. This is my method. This is, one way I've seen that, okay, when I follow this, I'm profitable. When I follow this, I make good entries. I could put my stops in and I have no problem. When I don't follow that, personally, I have all the trouble in the world setting tight stops on high leverage and trading properly. So breakout, retest, breakout. If you don't know what I mean, leave a comment below. I'm happy to explain it more more granularly in a video. But I'm basically waiting for a breakout through resistance, a retest of that breakout, which, that always happens. Don't forget, anytime you break some resistance or support, you're going to retest it. That's just how price action works. So you wait for the retest. Why do you wait for the retest? Because if you buy the breakout without waiting for the retest, it'll come back on you and you might get stopped out. Okay, it'll go the opposite way that you're intending for it to go. So wait for the retest, and then wait for the retest to be completed. Don't try to catch a falling knife. That's a mistake I've done so many times I can't even count. I thought, oh, that's definitely the bottom. I see some bullish divergence, or I'm counting the Elliott wave for this correction. It definitely has to be the bottom. And Bitcoin decides to go down even further. So the asset that I'm looking at goes down even further, and I get stopped out on my entry. I leave with a minimal loss, but still a loss is a loss. Wait for the price to change course and let it break out from that same resistance or support that it broke out from in the first place. Then, although you're missing a few percentage points of whatever the run is, you're trading safely. And that's a way to trade large amounts of capital with little to no risk, because if, let's say, it doesn't break out, and it's a failed breakout, you don't get caught in those because you're waiting for the second breakout after the retest. So that's just a bit of my trading strategy, and I'll continue to kind of talk about that as we move forward. So I'm looking at SHIB. That's one potential, and that's why I've shortlisted that as a setup for today or whenever Bitcoin decides. And then the other one I was looking at was FTM. And again, just having a look at the entire chart, we see that it's clearly structurally sound, clearly in an uptrend. It has good market structure. Let's go on to the 4-hourly, and we see, yeah, it had a great run up from the end of August, and it corrected ABC, and it just finished its ABC correction from that huge run up, and now it's starting a second run up, and it did the first wave of that second run up. And that's what I'm seeing on Phantom. And basically we're in wave 2, basically the correction of that first wave. And so what comes after wave 2, wave 3? Wave 3, if you know Elliott wave analysis, you know that that is usually the most forceful, the most momentous, the longest, typically the longest wave of an Elliott wave pattern. So that's why Phantom is on my short list of setups. And why do I have a few coins shortlisted? I'm not going to trade all of them, actually. What I do is I wait for the breakout, and I look and see what is acting with force. Basically, once Bitcoin decides it wants to run and kind of sets the stage and gives the okay for these coins to do what they're supposed to do, I then look and see, okay, is SHIB looking more forceful or is Phantom looking more forceful? Because again, part of my trading strategy is I want to be in and out as quickly as possible. I do not want to spend too much time, because the longer you spend in a trade, in a derivative trade with leverage and stuff like that, the more exposure you have to the market and the greater risk you run, even if you set stops, right? Because anything can happen. That's the nature of the market. It is capricious. Bitcoin can just dump at any second, and your asset can dump at any second. So you want to get in and out, kind of like a thief, doing a heist, in and out. So that's my strategy. This is why I look for those assets with the most verve once a breakout begins. And then once I determine that, basically the way I determine that is I look at the nature of the candles on small time frame. So I'll go into like the 5-minute time frame or something like that, or the 15-minute time frame. I'll see, are we printing big candles? Is it really trying to run? And that's what I'll pick, basically, between the ones that I shortlisted. So I hope that's helpful. Hope that's useful. If you like that kind of information, that kind of content, please like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share, comment, do all that good stuff. And yeah, let me know what you think. And let me know what you all have. If you guys are trading, what you're trading, why you're trading it, what your trading strategy is. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.